So Bitcoin finally breaks over that historic $100,000 price. But the next question is, what does that now mean for altcoins? In this video, I'm going to be taking you through all the regular altcoin season indicators, as well as some alt BTC pairs that I think are about to rip up. So let's get into it. So starting, as we always do then, with Bitcoin itself. And as you can see, we have broken above that bearish trend line that I talked about in Monday's video and now smashed 100k. So didn't get the pullbacks that we talked about. We thought that we may well get a retest of this daily level here at 91k or this daily fair value gap at about 89k. The deeper pullback scenario was, of course, the bottom of this weekly fair value gap at 80k. None of those happened. We've barely had any pullbacks really since 73k. We had a half decent pullback here when we hit 89 down into 82, and apart from that, that has been it. So Bitcoin on an absolute tear, and of course no resistance now. Blue sky breakout, we could easily just run now to 110, maybe even 120. We'll just have to see how things go. In terms of altcoins though, let's start with Ethereum on the weekly time frame, and we are right at that weekly range high now at just under 4k. So the weekly range high I've got about 3,888. If you take the wicks, then you're probably up in around 4k, but this is obviously a big level of resistance. Top of this weekly range high. We've been here twice before, which was of course back in March and May of this year, back when the ETFs happened. Of course, we were back here as well in the previous cycle. Bit of resistance up at 3,940. You can see it was the top of these candles back here in May 21, August and September 21, and some resistance here as we started to break down at the end of December 2021. So big area of resistance now for Ethereum, but we've got the fuel in terms of Bitcoin breaking 100k. We've got that momentum. Will we see it finally break this weekly range high and head for new all-time highs of above 5k? In terms of the altcoin season indicators, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So on the monthly time frame, we've talked about this over the past several months. We've talked about how the all-time high break is usually the signal for the start of alt season. It happened in 2017, happened in 2020, and it looks like it's playing out again here in 2024. So you can see ever since we broke the all-time highs, Bitcoin dominance has been on the way down. Now, the only caveat, as I've talked about before, was the fact that maybe we get one more surge in Bitcoin dominance after Bitcoin breaks 100k. As you can see, we have pulled up slightly over the last couple of days. There is a chance that maybe this monthly level of previous resistance, now potentially support, does hold at around 57%, and if that happens, we may well see one more leg up on Bitcoin dominance. All BTC pairs fall a little bit further before finally putting in a bottom and then starting to run. However, the other caveat to that, or the other alternative, is that things continue as they have done in previous cycles, whereby all BTC pairs run alongside Bitcoin on the way up, like we've seen in 2017 and 2020. So if we take a look at the last cycle in 2020, so Bitcoin dominance topped out in December 2020, January 2021, when we broke that previous all-time high. So if we take a look at some of the alt BTC pairs, so if we can see here, December 2020, Jan 21 on the AVAX BTC chart, big run on AVAX BTC. Same again with NEAR, December 2020, January 21, we had a big run. Injective, where is it? December 2020, it started running in December 2020 into January 2021, etc. So what we could see is Bitcoin continue to go to the upside, obviously above 100k, and altcoins could run alongside it. What that basically means when the alt BTC pairs are doing well is that altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. So they can both be going up, except for the fact that altcoins are going up faster than Bitcoin. You're making more multiples, as opposed to what's been happening over the past 2 years, where Bitcoin has been outperforming the altcoins. So even though the altcoins have been going up in USD value, they've not been going up as much as Bitcoin. So obviously easy in hindsight, but it's quite clear from this chart you'd have been much better off in Bitcoin from December 2020, well, September, October, December 2022, up until the past month, where it's been time to rotate into altcoins. So as we've seen with previous cycles, alt seasons do tend to run for quite a while, at least a few months when they really get going. You see from these previous cycles, especially the last cycle from January 2021 all the way until May. So there is a good chance that although we may not have you may not have caught the absolute bottom of the alt BTC pairs, there's still plenty of room for them to run, especially now that Bitcoin is obviously, as I say, above 100k, no resistance. That really gives the green light for altcoins to start running. So as I say, as long as the Bitcoin dominance chart doesn't hold this monthly level of 57% as support, we should see a continued breakdown on Bitcoin dominance, which is good. ETH BTC, we obviously want this to be nice and bullish, so we want this to reclaim this monthly level of 0.04. Big level of resistance back between September 2018 and February 2021. But once it finally did break, made that huge run up to the cycle highs of 0.08. So this level obviously been tested as resistance last month and held, been tested so far this month and held. We want to see a monthly candle close back above 0.04 and start to run. In terms of the weekly time frame, also got confluence with that weekly EMA 21 as well. So a weekly candle close above this weekly EMA 21 and the monthly level 0.04 is a great start. And then a monthly candle close above 0.04, then that is definitely a big green light for the altcoins. In terms of the total 3 BTC chart, we got that monthly candle close back above that big level of 0.47, which we talked about in a previous video. We've now got the monthly EMA 21 to deal with, which we haven't been above since December 2022. So again, that is going to be a big green light should we be able to get that monthly candle close back above the moving average 21. And as I say, just because you haven't necessarily caught the bottom, there is still a lot of room for these alt BTC pairs to run. And then finally, total 2 and total 3, as you can see, up at the highs, looking to break new all-time. In fact, total 3 has actually just peaked above the previous all-time highs. So again, should still be plenty of room to run, even if we do get a slight pullback on the alt BTC pairs. So let's get into a few of the alt BTC pairs that I think are about to make some big moves, or certainly poised for a potential move. So we've got AVAX BTC first. You can see we deviated this level of resistance back here at, what's that, 4,000 sats. We got back above that. We've got above the weekly moving average 21, and now we just need to break this level of resistance here at around, call it 5,000 sats. You can see it's been a big level of previous support and resistance all the way back to March 2021. So a weekly candle close confirmation above here, and I think that is set to fly. You can see the next big levels are about 8,500 sats and 11,000 sats. If you just take a look at what that could be from here, you can see we've already had a pullback this week due to Bitcoin dominance rising after the 100k break. But if we go from here at 5,091 sats at time of recording, up to this next level of resistance here at about 8,500 sats is a 67% gain on your Bitcoin. Up to these highs of 11,000 sats, that's a 120% move. And as I say, the whole idea of alt BTC pairs is you put your Bitcoin into these altcoins and then you grow your Bitcoin as a vehicle of making a bigger stack. So as I say, from here, AVAX could see a very easy 120% move up to that 11,000 sats area, as long as we get a weekly candle close above 5,000 sats. Near BTC, similar scenario. So we held this weekly level down here at 5,000 sats. We deviated this big level of resistance at 6,500 sats, which we talked about in a previous video. And now we're looking to get over the final hurdle, which is this weekly moving average 21 and the RSI 50 as well. If we get a candle close above that, I think that is all the green lights ready for near. You've got the next target for me, even though we've got these small highs here, I would be looking to target the highs from back in March earlier this year, which is about 12,000 sats. So if you were to enter here, again, we've had a little bit of a pullback already this week, which is a nice entry. If you want to jump in just before the weekly candle close confirmation, which is about, if we're here, we're currently at 7,400 sats. So a move up to the March-April highs is a 63% move, which is still pretty decent. If we manage to make it up to the August and September 2022 highs of 23,000 sats, from here, that is a massive move of 200%. So you could double or triple your Bitcoin on that should it play out. Of course, not a guarantee. Injected BTC, again, another one, just waiting for a confirmation here. We held the monthly level down at 2,500 sats, bounced off that, and now we just need to close above all three hurdles at once. So we've got this weekly level resistance at 3,300 sats. We've got the weekly moving average 21 and the RSI 50. We can get a weekly candle close above all three. That is a massive green light, and I would actually be targeting all the way back up to all-time highs, because there's very small resistances here at about 3,000. What's that? 3,900, 4,000 sats, 4,500. But I would be targeting all the way back to all-time highs, 10,000 sats. And if you're going to go from, if we just go from just above that weekly level of resistance, so if we get a weekly candle close above that, jumping in there, and again, that's another 200% move. So again, you could be tripling your Bitcoin on that move. So that is not bad at all. In terms of .BTC, again, waiting for confirmation on this one. We've deviated, or sorry, we've got back above the weekly moving average 21, which is a good start. We've now got this big level of weekly resistance here at around 1,100 sats. If we confirm a weekly candle close above that, we're already above the RSI 50, but a weekly candle close above 1,100 sats, and I think that can make a very fast move up to 1,700 sats, which would be a nice modest 50% move, 50% gain on your Bitcoin. However, if we then break above that, the next big level I've got here is about 2,625 sats. And so that would be a nice 132% move. So again, doubling your Bitcoin on that potentially. Of course, not a guarantee. Wait for that confirmation of a weekly candle close above 1,100 sats. And then finally, BNB, one that's actually ready to go, in my opinion. So I posted this on the Learning Crypto Discord just the other day, just as before it got moving. Unfortunately, it's come back down again now because of that tag of the EMA 21 and of course the Bitcoin 100k break. But if you want more details on our Discord, Learning Crypto Premium and the Traders Lounge, go check out our website, learningcrypto.co.uk. But if we take a look at this setup here on BNB, it looks really good to go. You can see we're holding these weekly range lows down here about 6,500 sats. So if you were to jump in here, as I say, we've already had a nice little pullback. Your invalidation would just be a close back below these weekly range lows, which I think is unlikely. Could happen, but I don't think so. And you're looking for a run all the way back up to those weekly range highs of around 12,000 sats, which as you can see is a 72% gain on your Bitcoin. And then if we were to break up out of the range and go back to the all-time highs of BNB BTC, which actually occurred in the bear market of November and December 2022. But if you do that, 175% gain on your Bitcoin, which I think is fantastic. So I'd say a lot of really good setups potentially forming on these alt BTC pairs. All depends on whether the Bitcoin dominance chart can continue to fall, the ETH BTC chart can continue to rise, and of course, as long as BTC doesn't rug us with going back below sub 100k. So chuck in the comments what altcoins you think are going to run. Do you think we are in altcoin season, or do you think Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to stay strong? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next video.